Jose is blowing bubbles out of that car, and it's delightful. So we were driving along and we just spotted something on the side of the road. Even Canons there!
And road trip favorite as we're headed west.
So we're setting up the tents. At least, yeah, someone is setting up the tent. I am supervising and giving words of encouragement. Mike, jump! Push it.
Push it real good.
Okay. Deeper.
Okay, not that deep.
Oh, I get it.
So we're having a barbecue in the dark. It's difficult. Does this have ketchup on it yet? I don't remember. This is hard. So we just spent our first night in Chitico. It was super fun and super cool, and the weather is really spectacular. But now it's time to move on. We're going to Prelude today and have a whole other day with the Cabot Trail and a lot of driving and a lot of moving around and unsetting of all the things and resetting of all the things in the future. It's a big day.
Oh, ja.
Beach cows.
Okay.
Whose cows are they?
Ceux qui sont des rebels, puis comme ils rentrent en ville la nuit, puis spray paint stuff alentour. There's du trouble. Une cow qui se put dans l'eau, c'est comme le leader.
So we've stopped at Ingonish to have a picnic. I'm in nature! So we've been driving down Cabot Trail, which is a scenic route where you get to see so much beautiful trees and mountains and light falling on mountains and the water and the rocks, and Nova Scotia is very beautiful. Good job, Nova Scotia. You rock. Wild blueberries that we totally ate. Hopefully we don't die. Yeah. We've been driving for like 17 billion hours today. And we've started getting loopy. I don't know if we can handle it. In another country? Where? I'm not making it. I'm not making it. Leave me here. I'll find my way home. So we're at the Fortress of Louisbourg, which is a historical site with a lot of recreations. It used to be a French fortress, and it's very cool. Like a cannon. So I just bought some bread that they make here directly at the fortress, which is pretty awesome. I bought some that was for like the middle class and for the soldiers, so what's in them is a bit different, and I'll try them out later and we'll see how they taste.
Now.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble, gobble. So as per usual in these vlogs, it rained last night and there was no rain in the forecast, so I did not put my rain guard thing on my tent. So in the middle of the night I was dreaming that I was in a grocery store in the vegetable aisle getting the mist. And I realized, oh, I am getting the mist. I switched sides so my face was at least not soaking wet, but everything else is. The Alexander Graham Bell National Historical Site, and it was super interesting. You think of just telephones and phonetics when you think of Bell, but you really learn through the museum that he's had a hand in a lot of different things, from aviation to genetics to like air conditioning. So he's really had a hand in a lot of stuff and collaborated on a lot of stuff. You really feel like he's had a huge influence on science and application of science, and even just like things that he couldn't invent, just he didn't have the things that he needed to really put the things together. He was thinking about them too. So it was super interesting. I enjoyed it. Stuck over there. So fluffy.
So fluffy.
That I bought in Louisbourg, and that's pretty awesome. There are two different types. So this one is the middle class one. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but it's dense. It weighs at least a few pounds, probably. Together, like it was like holding a small child. If I'm not wrong, this one is kind of like a whole wheat blend. It was for the middle class. And I'm gonna try and break off a piece. It's good, but my god, it's tooth heavy. So can that loaf feed you for 3 days? I could see how this could work. I'm gonna be chewing this for 3 days. And this one is one of the soldier loaves. So this is really the one that, like, they would receive this and they'd eat it for 4 days. This would be mostly what they ate. I think she said like 90% of their diet consisted of this, which is pretty crazy and also a bit sad. But I can, like, it's so dense. It's a little hard to explain how, like, intensely dense this is. This one, I forget what's the blend, but it's another blend of different grains or something. Right away, this one tastes more healthy, and it's kind of interesting because it kind of really is. Like, the lower class you went, the more like whole wheat, whole grain it actually is. The more like expensive bread was like more white bread. So it does taste healthier, and it is incredibly filling. Like, I just had like 2 small bites of both these breads, and I'm like, all right, I'm good for the next few hours. So I do understand how they could live off this, even though that is not a healthy choice to make.